Hi there, welcome to the Fierce Factor podcast. I'm your host, Kaylee Lindholm. And I think it's time for us women to shift the conversation in business and step into our feminine leadership to do the most iconic work the aesthetic industry has ever seen. Each week, I'll be bringing a powerful dose of strategy, sarcasm, solutions, and sass that will rev up your creativity and ignite your brilliance as you link arms with me along our shared path of personal and professional growth in 20 minutes or less. Let's go. Hello, leader. It's your host, Kaylee here. Welcome back. How is your summer going? Summer tends to be a slower season in our industry for some, but crazy busy for others. I guess depending on where you are located around the country or the globe, the services you offer, and the way you've structured your business model, you may or may not have much seasonal fluctuation in your business at all. And for us, summer is my absolute favorite time of year. It is beach time in California, and my boys participate in junior lifeguard training all week. Well, I enjoy my amazing work day, and then I'm at the baseball field all weekend. And there are lots of boat rides and happy hours with girlfriends and trips and focus on replenishment, rebuilding, and refinement. And our Pop Leadership Academy clients are planting and fertilizing fruitful seeds that will be primed for harvest in the fall. This month in our academy, we're running a guest expert workshop to help our students tap into a new angle of their creativity by developing magnetic content marketing. We live in a time when anyone, and I mean anyone, can say they are the absolute best. They can put up an Instagram profile and claim to be a master of this and that. But at the end of the day, honing in on your ability to share how your philosophy and experience generates unparalleled experiences and results is what will attract the most discerning buyer. And that's why we do this. The most discerning buyer is actually who you want. They are the buyer that will invest harder. They will be willing to spend a top dollar with you, and they'll be the most loyal. Think about it. When you sell on price, you're attracting a buyer who is looking for a deal, not the highest level of service. And those patients will continue to come to you until they find the next bargain deal, and poof, they're gone. But when you are unquestionably the best and know how to make that evident to your market, your consumers will not only spend top dollar, but recommend you to their friends who, by the way, are also in pursuit of results, not discounts. So instead of handing off another half-hearted task to a marketing company staffed with 20-year-old interns writing quote unquote blogs for SEO, our clients will be designing their own ebooks to leverage for credentialing, educating, lead generation, client nurturing, and thought leadership, really. And yes, it takes time to develop this asset. If you're like, Kaylee, there's no way in hell I have time to write a book, I'll lovingly remind you that this could be the very reason you need a book or another asset to generate traction for you in your business. And OPS, it takes time to learn how to create more time and space for yourself, and I can teach you how to do that too. The reality is, all too often we neglect this sort of summer pause, right? The slow time, because we're committed to being in motion towards something, even if it's toward the wrong metrics. Busy is just our comfort zone. And look, I've been guilty of this as well. I know it's how I built my business. And I also know that I can, in an instant, stimulate more sales. I can run a promotion, host an event, reactivate some old clients, offer some bundled add-ons, bring in a new service, right? There's a million ways to get quick cash injections. And these tactics can be powerful and also important. But what I'll experience as I'm working with our clients is a business owner who is by habit just focused on immediate growth initiatives and therefore lacks the more advanced skills to build, cultivate, and plan in the interest of their future. And this is a big part of what we cover in our Confidence to Scale 6-week business growth certification program, because I truly believe the best way to grow a business is to grow the person who's running that business. And what we teach in that program, it's really not about the tactics at all. It's about becoming the leader who is capable of getting her business to that place. There's a lot of marketing and business advice for startups. Google it. it's there for you, right? There's a flood of companies offering solutions, albeit impressive ones, to automate systems or enhance the client experience. There are business coaches and consultants on every corner teaching you the basics. But as you advance, the advice you will need is not about growth at all. In fact, I know, right? You're like, what? It's about elimination. It's about focus on the metrics that matter. And at times, growth might only be possible by slowing down and pausing short-term growth for big, epic, exponential growth down the road. I discussed this last week with one of our Academy members during a coaching call. She is so busy that she needs to add more team, more technology to support her, on and on and on. So she thinks. And I get it. Excuse my French, but overwhelm can be a mindfuck. How does adding more equal less? I'm like trying to do the math here. And I shared with her a story about my garden. Well, I'd hardly call it a garden. It used to be a beautifully manicured lawn, and I had landscaping with flowering plants, palm trees, a fountain ordained by the perfectly placed vines of ivy. Just picture perfect. Yeah, that was last year. One day I walked outside and I was like, wow, look how much my tree has grown. But where are all my limes? The limes and avocados and strawberries, oh, they were there, but they were buried under vines and leaves and shrub. My whole garden was overgrown. So I called my landscaper, as one would, right, to come help me trim back the plants. And he said, Kaylee, it's too late. We need to pull these out and reseed. What you're dealing with here is a prime environment for weeds to grow, but a lack of quality nutrients for the beautiful fruit to blossom because the damn weeds were taking all the nutrients. Anyway, going forward, he's telling me we're going to need to be trimming these back and refertilizing the soil on a continual basis. It's going to be about slowing down the growth so that it is nourished sustainably. And I really hadn't noticed because the plant's watering and feeding system was working. It was growing after all. But what I came to find is that I had let my garden grow to the point where it began to suffocate itself. And this is what we do in our business. We invest so much in growth, so much in bigger, more, higher, faster, that we overwhelm the ecosystem. And you might be thinking, well, that might be the case for you, Kaylee, but my business, it just can't be overgrown. And I'd like to challenge that assumption because when you're fully booked, you have a functioning growth system in place. Your primary obstacle to future growth actually won't be in the system itself. It will be in you. What advancement to the next level will require of you is vigilance around setting boundaries and creating constraints to prevent overgrowth and to eliminate distractions from the metrics that actually matter. It's instead time for removing clutter, pruning excess, and elegantly creating space for you, your team, and your business to blossom. But that begins with getting supremely honest with yourself about what metrics actually do matter. And I might ask you, what are you focused on right now, Goddess? How are you sure that the investments you're making are moving your business in the right direction? Are you moving in the right direction? Because the answer to this question truly can't be answered by anyone but you. We live in a society that's full of distractions, full of messages that challenge us to question our own goals, our own measurement of success. I was taking Cooper to junior lifeguards just this morning, and I saw a quote printed on a sign that said, "The road to success is dotted with many tempting parking spaces." As a matter of fact, many women tell me they started their business for the exact reason they begin to resent it. Autonomy, impact, freedom. After all, you're in control of your destiny. You get to choose how much you work, how much you make, who you serve, and who you employ, right? Or maybe your success, the autonomy ensued, is the very thing holding you back from showing up as the woman you know you are meant to be. Are you focused on the right things? Did you see so much potential to expand that you opened a second location and now you're stressed beyond belief trying to book out every treatment room every hour? Why were you so excited to grow? And now that very growth has diluted your optimism about what's possible. Could it be that your focus is on the wrong metrics? I'll bet if you really get quiet and look at what you've accomplished, if you really align your achievements with your biggest dreams, You're leaps and bounds and more accomplished than you realize and certainly give yourself credit for. I routinely ask myself, what are the metrics that matter to me? My certifications? Well, perhaps the knowledge I gain from learning new concepts, but at the end of the day, it's really about what I do with them and how I apply them. So no. The Instagram followers I have? Maybe the message I deliver on Instagram to the people who matter, but I can buy followers. And at the end of the day, those followers don't directly translate into loyal paying clients or true authentic friendships. So no. My face on the cover of a magazine? No, but I can certainly spend useless money to stroke my own ego and make that happen. So what matters? How busy I am? Nope. How about how much revenue my business generates? Well, if it costs me time with my kids, my husband, the things I love, the things that I'm generating the revenue to do and share, then no, that doesn't matter either. So why am I chasing these? Why are we chasing metrics that don't matter, Goddess? Where does happiness ultimately come from? Where is that source for you? And if I'm really honest with myself, for me, I want to know what's possible for me. I want to squeeze every single last drop of juice out of the lemon. I want to own this life of mine. I want to wake up every morning with a fresh optimism for opportunity. I want my boys to see their mom thrive and believe in themselves in that same way. And I want to show up fully present for them when I do have precious time with them now, before they're grown and out of the house. But I can't access that space when I'm living as a victim of my own success. I remind myself that I built this life and I can rebuild it. I'm not powerless to my circumstance. I have a choice, and so do you. And at any given moment, you can change. You can change the way you think. You can change what you decide to do each day, how you spend your money, who you spend your time with, where and when you say yes. You have a choice. This is called being strategic, and this is called being a CEO. So what metrics do matter to you? Have you thought about this lately? Perhaps you haven't even given yourself the space, time, or the environment to let this kind of creative thinking happen. Here's some of the metrics that our Pop Leadership Academy clients pursue. Quality, uninterrupted time for family dinner at night, weekends away with girlfriends, multiple weeks of unplugged vacations per year, paying off their dream home, retiring their husband, developing a team of employees who will run their business on autopilot, sleep, rejuvenation, and emotional nourishment, lunches on rooftops during the weekday. That's one of my favorites. That's for you, Dr. Sam. A schedule that allows me to train and teach without revenue loss. And the irony is, as I'm listening to this list or collecting this list, right, is I have yet to find a business book that teaches me how to accomplish these things. What I do know is that for me, as a highly ambitious, driven female who has achieved just about everything I've set my mind to, not achieving has been the biggest challenge, and yet has been the most rewarding accomplishment of them all. Shifting my sense of worthiness from doing to just being has taken years of coaching and countless hours of practice. And the beautiful thing about that is I get to enjoy my summer and plug back into my fuel source to recharge. I get to prune my garden, literally and figuratively, and develop assets that will supercharge my business without needing one more hour of my time or energy when they are built. I'm working with my clients from the most clear, focused, and creative mindset, and I'm showing my team how a well-directioned and methodical business operates, not from a place of reactivity, but from a place of intention and attention to the metrics that actually matter. And leader, you can operate from this space and develop your leadership both within your business and your industry at the same time. And you can do this with us in our 6-week business growth certification program called Confidence to Scale. While there's certainly a strategy behind the mechanics of business building, we often make poor decisions along the process because of these intangible barriers that are keeping us stuck. Barriers such as our confidence in our ability to hire, to train team effectively, to market our own methodology, or we simply stagnate out of fear of making a wrong decision. And we spin around in overwhelm. This week, we'll be accepting applications for our August class. And if you've been listening to this podcast and thinking, I really resonate with what Kaylee is saying, and I know I need something. I'm just not quite sure what. Leader, this is your opportunity. Here's the thing. Growing revenue is only one ingredient in the success recipe. And there's a very specific inflection point that truly separates the top 2%. It's a space where discipline and work ethic and this sort of hellish grit have created a very successful business. But in order to take your business to the next level, it's going to require carefully designed assets instead of more of your precious time and energy. And I developed this curriculum to teach you step by step how to build those assets to help you face those challenges that come with growth head on, right? How to prune that business and to help you become ready to capitalize on the demand for your expert work. Get your mind right about what it will take to grow sustainably with systems and structure and team. And you'll learn a repeatedly proven framework for showcasing your brand as a preeminent market leader. So if you are ready to evolve into a leader who is capable of building a team and a business that honors you as a woman, as a visionary, this is the place that you need to be. You can submit a very brief application over at klcconsultants.com/scale. Just ask you a few questions, make sure that you're the right fit. And that same page will give you more information about the timeline and the sessions and all of the info. It is a combination of group training and private coaching as well. Okay, leader, thank you for tuning in today. My wish for you is that you are ready to become clear, mission-oriented, and well-directioned as you lead your business your way, focused on the metrics that truly matter, focused on building the life and business you truly deserve. You got this. Wait, before you go, hey, if you're vibing with this conversation and you want to join me on my mission to help 100 inspiring and intentional women cross the next $1 million milestone in their business this year, or leader, maybe you want to become one of them, head over to Facebook and join our free community, the Fierce Factor Society. Over there, we're taking this conversation to an elevated level. Get access to resource guides, podcast supplements, guideposts, and direct communication with me, my expert team, and of course, a society of fierce women making big moves and disrupting the status quo in aesthetic wellness. You can link directly through the show notes or head to Facebook and search the Fierce Factor Society. See you there, goddess.